talking about women very well.
Hmm.
And I
Really?
think,
I don't know.
yeah, I know. I think the conversation that began the season unfortunately had nothing to do with basketball. We talked about the Reese Angel, Caitlin Clark thing, which we can get to in a sec. We talked about her essentially getting bullied, quote unquote, her not making the Olympic team, things like that. And
Hmm.
I think it really took away from how dominant of a season that she had. That's also why I'm a little nervous about Paige coming in because, like you said, there's no turnaround time, right? Like most rookies from the NBA, if you're playing in college or if you're playing overseas, you have a couple of months, you have a training camp, you have summer league, you have all this time to build preseason games, you have all this time to build up. Like you just said, like once Paige is done, whenever their team is done, she's basically got to turn right around, get drafted, and then the season starts in a couple weeks. I'm very I'm excited for Paige because first off, I like the way that the WNBA basically said, if you want to come in here and be great, you got to earn this shit. Right? I like the fact that the women were like, we're not letting you just be the best player in the league. You got to earn this. And you got to come in here. This is how we play, right? And if you don't like the way that we play, then you're not going to last. And I thought that she adjusted after the All-Star, not the All-Star break, after the Olympic break. I think she finally got some time to rest and relax and, have a moment to herself. If you look at her numbers, once the Olympics happened to the playoffs, she was awesome. And I'm curious for her for season 2 because I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on her. I think a lot of people
Hmm.
are going to vote for her or put money on her to be MVP. They have the 4th best odds to win the championship, which I was a little surprised by. I know you can talk more about their moves that they made in the offseason, but what are you expecting from her? What's kind of your thought process of how she's going to be as a year 2 player in the W?
I think Caitlin Clark's going to do exactly what she did rookie year and then some. What she has shown so far by just the way she carries herself and the way that she plays is that she handles pressure extremely well. The lights are very rarely ever too bright for her. And if she fails, it's mostly because it's just as simple as put the other team just was better. I think she will be fine. I I don't think that I know her team got 41 of 44 national television spots for the upcoming season. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong per se, but I do wish that that same type of courtesy was extended to some other teams as well. I think in particular, maybe a nice defending champion. And this is not even me being biased. I'm being as objective as I can. I think any team in any league where that team had won the championship for that league should probably have the most playing time because again, anyone playing a defending champion is an automatic crazy storyline. But I also understand Caitlin Clark sells. She is box office. She plays super well. Her range is only expanding. Her off-ball basketball is amazing and tends to be underlooked. But yeah, she'll never give you an underwhelming performance unless she is maybe sick or something. And I think even still, she'll probably give you some full game type performance. But I think she's gonna be fine. I think she's gonna play well. I think she's gonna break more records. Probably maybe the assist record for a second year player. That's if I had to put money on it. Maybe most points in a game for a second year player. I'm not sure how much that is, but if yeah, I'm pretty sure she could break it if she wanted to. Just needs the right game, catch the right stroke, she'll be all right. But I think she's gonna be fine. I think she's gonna play well. I think she has her footing. I think she got that year one experience. She had her welcome to the WNBA moments. So yeah, Caitlin's gonna be fine.
Can I present a counter for the games uh, played or for the games being on national television?
Okay.
I think that for better or worse, that she's gonna be the uh, Jordan, LeBron. She's gonna be the thing that gets people to tune in. And I think if you're
Hmm.
any league, you're like, how can we tap this thing as much as we can? And I think ultimately, while I agree there's a lot of teams that you would say that why don't we put them on more? You know, the Liberty because they just won the championship game, or the Sparks because they're a Los Angeles team. I just think there's something about
Maybe Dallas,
the
they're getting the number one pick. But yeah.
Dallas, right? I just think that the more that you can have of your best product, especially when you're by and large part a startup company, and I'm not trying to say this in like a disrespectful way. I know the W's been around for a quarter century, but
Yeah, for sure.
this is the most that they have actually penetrated the sports consciousness.
Hmm.
And the fact that we can have this rock star on the team with like
Hmm.
real tangible rivalries, right? Like, how is she going to go up against one of the best teams in the league um, in Vegas and in the New York Liberty, right? Like, how can she take this kind of like young, scrappy team and go up against them, right? Well, now there's like some real expectations for them to win, right? And
Yeah.
I look at it as like year two LeBron, where that dude was awesome. His team sucked, but he was so good. And I think that her team's a little bit better. And just what we talked about, the ability to make the playoffs, the burden of entry isn't so hard. And I think when you can have people in Washington State be able to watch Caitlin Clark play, like, oh, I'm gonna sit there on a Thursday night when I had nothing to do in the summer. I'm gonna watch this girl play. That wouldn't necessarily happen, unfortunately, even if it was, you know, Liberty versus Dallas, right? Like,
Hmm.
some people might know Paige and might be fans of her, but Caitlyn had this level of gravitas to her from really her ability to shoot and take it there. To me, that I feel like warranted the amount of games that they're getting on national television.
That's fair. I think it's fair. I just think what's maybe hard about it is I've been a W fan for a very long time, and there's a lot of good basketball being played, and a lot of people are just not seeing it. And I think while this viewership is high, and while other storylines are developing, this is a great time to strike while the iron is hot, because maybe they could have 41. Defending champions could maybe have like maybe 39 or something like that. There's a lot of good basketball being played. And although Indiana is, I think they're in a good spot again. Caitlin Clark immediately. DeWanna Bonner, that trade was great. Obviously, Aaliyah Boston, and they're finding their footing finally. They are going to be playing some good basketball, but I also do think there might be some better basketball being played because there are teams that are probably well established with this championship pedigree under their belt. Because there are going to be times when on national television, Indiana will be getting blown out. If it's based, I'm trying to say Vegas and Ace at the same time. If
I
Vegas
know.
is playing
I
Indiana,
stumbled like 4 seconds ago when I was like Vegas, uh, Liberty, and New York. I was like, what's the name of this team? Like, sometimes just not in your
merging
head, but I
words
get
and
you.
stuff.
I know.
Maybe that means I talk too much, but it's just one of those things where sometimes you want to see a good basketball game, and there's so much good basketball being played. And I think while the viewership is high, while certain storylines are being developed, this is a good chance. I think two things can be true at once. I also think two things can happen at once. Um, and they're investing so much in this